I don't even know how to start this shit, to be honest, but I guess let's go with the old one. Vlog 1 YouTube MK here, and no, I do not mean it in that context. Basically, I got this idea that maybe I should make a top 5 out of the songs I've produced in 2016, because there are a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, there have been a couple I haven't even released. Obviously, most of those can be found on YouTube or on SoundCloud or even on Spotify. But Spotify only hosts those mixtapes after 18, and From a Couple to a Dawn 2 in the future, and From a Couple to a Dawn 1, but that's 2015, so that's not going to be accounted for anyway. Point was the fact that I figured, I didn't count it fully, but I think I've produced like about 30 to 40 songs in the last year. A couple of them for somebody else. There's been one feature I've been featured on, but that hasn't been released. And 2 mixtapes in 2016, so it's been a pretty much full-on supply year. Not focusing on demand, but focusing on supply. Anyway, I figured that, yeah, let's make a top 5. So let's begin with the 5th one right here. And as you can probably tell, 5th one is House Got Me Like, which was my like full-on, I'm gonna give you the backstory to it too. House Got Me Like, it's not, actually it's pretty different from my usual production because it's a mainly EDM slash festival trap track. So basically, that was last summer 2016, when I felt like I don't want to make another rap song or anything like that. I just want to focus on something else. So I figured, hey, I made EDM songs in the past, and my production has a lot of synths and all that I use from EDM, so on and so forth. I tend to focus on that. So I figured that, yeah, I might as well make a full-on EDM track. And the funny part about that particular track is the fact that actually it features vocals. He doesn't know it, but if he's gonna watch this, then you'll know exactly anyway. It features vocals from a buddy of mine.
Yeah, what's up, nigga?
Right before the drop. Like, it features the N-word, so I'm probably not gonna say it here, but anyway, vocals from a buddy of mine that I used like before each drop, and it turned out pretty fucking well because I used a synthesizer on those vocals, and I actually like distorted the vocals, and I did all kinds of shit to them, but I can't even remember, it's been that long. But House Got Me Like at number 5, mainly, oh yeah, that's number 5. Anyway, mainly for the fact that it's different. It felt different. It felt good. The only like improvement I would make for myself in the future for that would be the fact that I should actually focus more on making the drops more what I would call explosive or festival-like. What I mean by that is the first drop in House Got Me Like, not the second one. The second one's pretty good. The first drop in House Got Me Like it doesn't have a lot going on, essentially, so the energy is not actually fully utilized. So basically, if you would play it at a festival, it would be a pretty lame drop, to say the least. But then, okay, I wasn't going for that festival feeling either, so I was pretty much going for that not festival, I mean like that tropical trap. That's what I would call it. I try to combine tropical flavors with trap flavors. Festival trap, or EDM trap, not the usual trap. Anyway, that's number 5, House Got Me Like, and it's not on any mixtape. It's actually one of the few singles you can find that are not on a mixtape of mine that you can find on not YouTube, Spotify. So check it out there. I'm gonna link the songs in their entirety in the description if for some reason you haven't checked them out already. Anyway, on to number 4.
Again, I'm a motherfucking creep. Stop getting, I'm stuck in your ears. Let that foot off the gas.
Anyway, number 4 is the first track. It's about to be a year old, which is ridiculous to think about because, well, 2016 went by pretty fucking quickly when I think about it. But and I'm using a selfie stick to film this, but I figured it's better than my DSLR since I can't really see what I'm doing with that. So I figured let's roll with this and see what happens. I hope the audio's not gonna be fucked up. I mean, whatever, I'm gonna mix it. Stalker was The first track, it's not actually the first track I've released in 2016. That was Refile, but I've actually, looking back on it, that's one of the few tracks that I really despise from me. Like, it was me fucking around, basically. It wasn't anything like any kind of official or anything like that. Anyway, Stalker actually was like what I would call the first official, like me going in hard type of track from 2016, and it's actually by views on YouTube the best performing track I have to date. But that's only on YouTube because Spotify obviously has different algorithms, so on and so forth. Anyway, Stalker, why I like it so much is I utilized a plugin called Grossbeat when I produced it, basically, and I made every single part of it, like the verses and the hooks and everything, I made it different by using it. I'm not going to explain it in detail. You'll know if you're a producer, but that's what I utilized, and that was actually why I think of it as being so special to me is also the fact that I actually utilized for the first time my own synths on it. So I programmed my own synth in Silent One for the first time, and it really stood out pretty well. So that's the main driving synth that they did. I'm not gonna replicate it. You'll know what I'm talking about. So basically, that's that. And the other factor was the lyrics. To date, I think it has my best hook I've ever done to date on that track. I'm not 100% sure. It's debatable. Upcoming has a pretty good hook too, but it's like one of the best hooks I've ever done, if not the best. So anyway, moving on to number 3.
You were stoned, the second sign was the fact you got on. And was it the third? Don't know, can't keep up, but you've been boned.
Just from like the newest mixtape I've done, from A Capital to Dawn 2, is the 8th track on it called I Changed. And that's a pretty deep track to me in a lot of ways, because actually it's basically a diss track where my former self, me from 2015, the one who made Fuck the Trap and all those singles, is dissing this new version of me in 2016, at the end of 2016, who has quote-unquote fallen into the trap. I don't know if I've explained the story in detail. I might make another video explaining my most popular songs and the songs I like most from myself, the story behind all of them, because they all have a pretty fucking good story, I can tell you that. But anyway, it has pretty much the best story. Not the best story, but actually the lyrics are so deep in a lot of ways, and obviously I've used 2 samples on it to sample track, so which is Bonnie Tyler's, I don't even remember the song name to be honest, but the one from Battlefield 4, that's what I picked it from. I thought that would be perfect, and it worked out pretty well. And Drake's The Resistance, because I tried to go for that Joe Budden Afraid feel, the diss track, because I really like it, so I figured that might fit, and it worked out pretty goddamn well. It's one of my favorite tracks to date, mainly because of the deep lyrics. It's not the deepest lyrics I've done, actually, but they hit so well that, yeah, it might be on that list. Anyway, moving on to number 2.
After 18, the shit is looking too different. I'd say I gotta focus now, this is getting urgent.
After 18 from the mixtape After 18. That is basically, the hook is really good on that as well. Like, gotta start focus now because it's getting urgent, all that. That hits me personally pretty hard. So, and it's also like, it's like a wake-up song for myself in a lot of ways, because the whole story behind the mixtape After 18 was basically like me turning 18 and having all these responsibilities and all this stuff I gotta do, and I can't take it easy no more. I gotta start moving on, and so on and so forth. I gotta start taking shit seriously. That's the main culmination of it, and the inspiration behind the track is actually from Drake's Days from the East, which is not a popular track, but it's one of those ones I really like. So, and it's actually the first track that's not full-on rap I've done. It's like more of like a cross between rap and R&B, basically, with a slower flow and a more sing-songy type of flow, so on and so forth. But if I'm gonna be honest After 18 as a mixtape wasn't that good, like compared to Fact That 1 and Fact That 2. But it has at least one track. I mean, Trappy Passion is good too, but After 18 is that one song I really fucking love from it, and it's the one that hits me the hardest, and so on and so forth. And number one is, for me, has to be the one track I released before Fact That 2.
But if it did, I had to write, I came like blow away. I had to tell him, get the fuck out that square. My friends dealing with the type of shit right now. The only question on my mind really is how. Yeah, how is it getting that amount of shit I can tell? But what I can tell, yeah, I'm throwing coins in the well. Yeah, throwing coins in the well, hoping that something gon' happen. Yeah, I felt the type of way, like I said, on Trappy Passion.
Where actually a lot of people that didn't like my production in the past said that this is the moment when you really got it, and that is Upcoming. That's my favorite track. I mean, I'm not, even though I like myself a lot, I'm a confident person. And I like myself and I'm a confident person. I usually don't listen to my own tracks that often necessarily, but I had to bump that 24/7 because it was that good. So, Upcoming. And the main reason is, it's like one of the first tracks where I've really gone in with a faster flow. And I used a different writing style for it, where I basically, I mean, you should do this if you're a beginning artist, but I didn't figure out until then, where basically I was going for the flow first and then figuring out the lyrics, and it worked out pretty well. And I've used that ever since. So that's my top 5 for 2016. If you have any tracks you like from me, you can name 1, 2, 3, 5, even 10, doesn't really matter to me. You can put them in a comment section. I'd be more than interested to hear what other people, like my listeners, that few amount that I have, think are actually my best tracks from 2016. But that's my top 5, and yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna make this into a series or something like that in the future, so just stay tuned. Alright, thanks.